Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. Now yesterday UPSC has released the answer key for prelims 2024. Yes, UPSC does release it after the entire process is done, which of course takes about a year. So yesterday only the key was released, and it can be said that possibly UPSC has made an error in the answer key. Now that would of course have cost a lot of people the chance to actually qualify for the mains examination, and there's a possibility that someone who should not have been, with respect to the correct answer, been qualified for mains would have. And maybe, just maybe, some of them might be in services now also, but that's a different thing altogether. What can we focus on right now is the people who might have lost the chance to appear for mains because of this mistake of UPSC, which is getting revealed only now because UPSC releases answer key after a year. Now, in addition to the mistake that has been made by UPSC, in one question, of course, mind you, let me tell you, in one question which could cost the aspirant around 2.66 marks, which is a huge marks considering the very slightest of margin in prelims. In addition to this one error in a question, UPSC has also dropped 3 questions. So we will see which 3 questions have been dropped by UPSC, and we'll try to estimate as to what the reason for dropping that question might be. So at least with respect to dropping of the question, fair enough, you have dropped it off. But with respect to the question that has gone wrong, what can be the solution going forward so that the aspirants are not left helpless in the future? So let's discuss that. And we'll also see those questions, the detailed explanation of those questions we will be seeing in this lecture. So this is the answer key that was released. It releases for all the sets. This is the set A that we are talking about. So of course, total questions were 100, but number of questions that UPSC has dropped is 3. So 3 questions have been dropped here, and you will be, number of questions taken for scoring is only 97. Now the questions that have been dropped are question number 20, wherein you can see there is no option stated here. They have only stated a cross mark, that is X or a cross mark. So question 20 has been dropped, then question 52 has been dropped, and then question 57 has also been dropped over here. And the question in which UPSC has presumably from very valid sources is the source that we are referring to is going to be the Constitution of India. So it can't get any more valid than that. So as per that source, the answer that they should have marked is different than what the answer they have mentioned over here. So for question 85, they are saying option C is the correct answer, but possibly it is option B which is the correct answer. So let us look at all these questions together. Let's look at the drop questions first, and then we go to the question in which there is an error. So the questions that are dropped are 3, 20, 52 and 57, and the wrongly marked question is 85th. The set that we are referring to is set A. If you are checking this video with some other set, you can refer to the question exactly, which might be having some other question number. So let's go on to question number 20 first. It has been dropped. What is the question? The question says consider the following statements, and statement 1 says the Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So the Indian flying fox, which is considered to be the primary reservoir of the Nipah virus, is in news over here, is in question over here. So that flying fox, which is also known as the fruit bat, is what they're talking about. They are saying that it has been kept as placed under vermin category in Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Statement 2 says that it feeds on the blood of other animals, right? So these are the 2 statements. Now the question is, which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? So option A is both statements are correct, and statement 2 explains statement 1. Option B is both statements are correct, but statement 2 does not explain statement 1. Option C is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Option D is statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Now, what we know from this fact is that statement 2 is incorrect statement. So it feeds on the blood of other animals? No, it basically feeds on fruits, especially mango, guava, etc. It's also known as a fruit bat. So statement 2 is incorrect. Now the option which consists of statement 2 being incorrect is, or option which does not have statement 2 as incorrect is what? This option. So it goes out of the window. Statement 2 is also correct, it is saying, so it goes out. Both statements are correct, so this option goes out. So what options are we left with? We are left with two options, that is, in fact, this option also goes out. Option D also goes out. So what are we left with? We are left with the fact of statement C, which says that statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Now, this generally should have been the answer, right? Many answer keys actually talked about C as the answer, but then why did UPSC drop it? That is because there is still ambiguity in it. So what is the ambiguity? The second part of the statement is fair enough. That makes sense, that statement 2 is incorrect. Yes. But what about statement 1? Is it correct? There is still ambiguity on it. Why is that so? Because you do have vermin animals, of course, but at a national level, the government of India, as the Wildlife Protection Act is a national level act, and government of India has not notified for the flying fox to be categorized as vermin. However, state governments in some states can give the authority to kill that and declare it as vermin in other respective states. So in that respective states, in some states, for example, let's say for example Kerala or any other state, they might declare that as vermin, but there has been no official notification by the government of India as this is or the central ministry, as this is a national level, central level act, as a result of which making it ambiguous. Some students who might be knowing that in some state, okay, it was allowed to be killed, so may consider it as vermin, but then the ministry at the central level has not allowed that or notified that, hence the ambiguity, and hence possibly why it has been dropped off. So what the answer should have been here is statement 1 and statement 2 both are incorrect, should possibly be an answer. However, that option is not available over here, hence you can not mark the right. All the option that you will mark will be incorrect over here, hence UPSC has possibly dropped it. Next is about the syndicate bank. Statement 1 says that syndicate lending spreads the risk of borrower default across multiple lenders. Yes, that's correct. What happens in a syndicate banking is, let's say many people come together, multiple lenders come together, form a syndicate and then lend. So if the borrower defaults, the defaulted amount will be spread over multiple lenders and hence the risk is reduced. That's correct. Second statement, the syndicated loan can be a fixed amount, lump sum of funds, but cannot be a credit line. This is the second statement. Now, cannot is an extreme word, so you might think it is incorrect. So let's see what happens. Options are both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Statement 2 definitely does not explain the statement 1, that is clear. Both statements are correct, but statement 2 does not explain statement 1. Yes, this looks like the most probable or possible option over here. Now, C says statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Now, this can also be a correct option. We'll see. So, the confusion is between B and C. D says statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. No, statement 1 is not incorrect. Statement 1 is definitely correct. So, this option goes out of the window. In fact, and statement 2 is not explaining. So, this option also goes out. Now, what are we left with? Two options, B and C. Both statements are correct. But so both statements are correct, possibly that, or one option saying that statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So our thing is dependent upon statement 2, right? Now some students might have marked B, some students might have marked C. Now there is an ambiguity which possibly makes both the options as correct. Why? Because some syndicates are allowing this kind of credit line, but some syndicates are not allowing that. So what is the scenario here? Both possibilities are available, which makes it ambiguous for the aspirants to choose the right option over here. So possibly that is one of the reason, a confusion between option B and C, why UPSC has dropped it. Now next question with reference to the revenue collection by Lord Cornwallis, revenue collection by Cornwallis, consider the following statement. Statement 1 is, under the Ryotwari settlement of revenue collection, the peasants were exempted from revenue payment in case of bad harvest or natural calamities. Absolutely not. The Britishers did not give a damn about us, so you can easily mark as that was not the case. Second, under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if the zamindar failed to pay his revenues to the state on or before the fixed date, he would be removed from zamindari. Yes, that's correct. So second statement is correct. Since you know second statement is correct, this goes out. You are left with two options, B and C. Now we need to check if first statement is correct or not. Now first statement is incorrect, so you could have marked this, but the issue is this. The question statement is starting with saying that with reference to revenue collection by Cornwallis. The issue is Ryotwari system was not by Cornwallis. It was not during his reign. Lord Cornwallis was there from 1786 to 1793, whereas the Ryotwari system was brought in by Munro later on. So now, of course, it is that then probably you would argue that that makes it even more incorrect, but the thing is, this goes to be incorrect because in Ryotwari system something like that was not existing. But the students can be confused that why are they saying Lord Cornwallis? So is there something more than what is meeting the eye? So let me not attempt it, or let me mark some other option. So all those possibilities are now available, as a result of which possibly UPSC have dropped this question as well. Now let's address the elephant in the room, that is the incorrect answer given by UPSC. Let us understand what that question is. This is question number 85th. It says that with reference to the union budget. Now union budget term is not nowhere being used in the constitution. They have called it the annual financial statement. Consider the following statements, but it's one and the same thing. Statement 1 is, the Union Finance Minister on behalf of the Prime Minister lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of the Parliament, is what is said. Second statement is, at the union level, no demand for grant can be made except on the recommendation of the President. Yes, this is correct. So when second statement is correct, this is eliminated, this is eliminated. You are left with two options. So you are left with two options clearly. Now UPSC has given C as the correct answer, saying that both the statements are correct. But as per the Constitution of India and its Article 112, statement 1 will be incorrect. So the correct answer in this case should be option B, 2 only. Now why is that the case? Simply because Article 112 of the Indian Constitution says that the President causes the annual financial statement to be laid in the Parliament. And who does that job? The Finance Minister, the Union Finance Minister. That means what? That means that the Union Finance Minister, on behalf of the President, not the Prime Minister, but on behalf of the President, lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of the Parliament. So it should be President here and not Prime Minister. Since it's Prime Minister, statement 1 becomes incorrect, and the correct answer should be B, 2 only. But UPSC has given it as C, both 1 and 2, which is an incorrect answer, thus affecting God knows how many aspirants. Thank you.